I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with the giant Asian centipede. Here we go. Hi, I'm Coyote Peterson, and today I'm going to be bitten by one of the world's most venomous centipede species. Now, there are 4 good reasons as to why I'm going to perform this extreme experiment. First is to measure how my body will react to this bite using medical equipment. Second is to determine if this bite will rank as my most painful experience to date. Third is to show you what a doctor would do to treat this type of bite. And last, but certainly not least, is to raise awareness and financial support for Save the Horns, our black rhino conservation initiative. Now, before we get into paying for conservation gain, first I want to introduce today's special guest, Dr. Jordan Wagner. He's a certified trained physician, but to his millions of followers, he's known as Dr. ER. What's up, Doc?
Hey, what's happening, Coyote?
Not much, man. How are you?
I'm good.
Ready for a centipede bite.
I hope you're ready. I'm getting ready for making sure that you don't have an emergency that we need to handle.
In order to fully understand what my body will be going through during the bite and its immediate after effect, Dr. Jordan first needs to create what's called a baseline, which includes my resting heart rate, blood pressure, and temperature. My numbers were a bit on the high side, but the doc noted that to be normal given the mental wherewithal of the bite I'm about to take. With my biometrics recorded, the next step is to fit me with 11 sticky electrodes, which will be attached to the LifePak 12, a device that will provide a visual representation for my baseline stats and how they fluctuate during my interaction with the centipede. Now feeling like a bionic man, it's time to introduce the good doctor to the world's largest centipede species.
Here we go. That is the giant jungle centipede.
That is big. That is huge. But is that the head? What am I looking at?
Well, that's a great question. So this centipede species, and almost all centipede species, have something called defensive mimicry. The back end looks like the front end, or is it the back end looks like the front end?
Wow, okay. So it's a mechanism to trick its prey. Predators, yes.
Predators, right. So if I was a coyote that was looking for a meal and I came in to bite this side thinking I was getting the head, because crushing the head or getting the neck is what's going to kill a potential prey item. Yes. Unfortunately, you've bitten its butt, and then it has the opportunity to swing around and bite you with those forciples, which are what the biting mechanism on a centipede is called. Now those are, look at that, it's turning up in the air though, there. Those forciples are modified appendages. So over time, and these creatures have been evolving for millions of years, over time, they evolved to have these appendages that have turned into a biting mechanism. Ooh, it's a little close to my finger there. So what we're gonna attempt to do now is free handle this centipede. Now, as I was starting to say, the venom from the species is very similar to the giant desert centipede, which I had been bitten by before.
I gotta actually pin down its head to do this.
Oh, jeez, look how fast
See how fast it is? There's the commitment. Look at those fangs. My goodness, okay.
Here we go. Cut the cameras! So I made the choice to not be bitten by this species. Instead, we're going to be bitten by a species that is much more potent, an old world centipede. But this one specifically, we consider a centipede ambassador.
Okay.
Do you notice how calm it is? This is not something you could normally do with a centipede. It is chill, it is relaxed, and at the moment, it is just enjoying crawling on my arm. Look how sluggish it is. Just curiously looking around, looking for its next spot to walk. Now, I gotta ask you this question, and I would only ask you this if I felt comfortable. Do you think you would be able to free handle this centipede? I know you didn't expect this coming in here today, but I am confident that your odds of being bitten are like only 1 out of 5.
Got it.
Which is not bad.
1 out of 5. That's like 20%.
I mean, maybe it's like 2 out of 4. You know,
the
like
numbers going the wrong direction.
I think you're gonna be okay. I know I'm putting you on the spot, but I figured that would make this episode so much better.
I mean, if you can let it crawl on me, sure.
Just trust me. So
Okay.
put your arms straight out.
Okay.
Let me ask cameras. Camera looking okay there?
Oh my God.
All right, so this is Dr. ER about to free handle the world's largest centipede species. Let me get her to walk. Oh, she likes me.
She likes you better than me.
We're gonna try this just like this. There we go. Big
Oh
girl.
my
There
gosh.
we go. Oh, she doesn't want to come off of my hand.
Okay.
I don't know, maybe she just
Maybe
senses your nerves.
Maybe.
There we go, there we go, there we go. Just stay still, there you go. Turn your arm a little bit. Don't worry, I'll get her if she moves or decides to drop. Whatever you do, don't move. They can definitely sense fear.
Okay.
And if it goes up your sleeve, just let it happen because
Okay.
it'll be super entertaining.
I'm just.
Oh,
not looking.
she's going right towards your face.
Okay, you can do whatever you need to do.
Look at the way that the bodies move. Now, centipedes have segmented bodies and they're armed with this exoskeleton.
Don't you
The
let it get to my
exoskeleton.
neck.
No, Jordan, what's so cool about this is that the exoskeleton is almost indestructible.
Are you kidding
Oh,
me?
it's going up the side of your head. This
Yeah,
could not
bro.
be any better.
Okay, great.
I'm going to bring her back
Yeah, you can take
up on
control.
top of your
Get
head.
out of
No, I'll
here.
bring her this way.
Oh my gosh. I got my watch on to see what my heart rate's doing.
Do you think your heart rate went
I
up
don't
there?
know. I don't know. We're gonna see.
So for context, had this centipede decided to bite you, which I was confident that it wouldn't,
Correct.
you would be in a world of pain. And that venom is very similar to the venom of the giant desert centipede.
Got it.
Centipede venom is not well researched.
Okay. Yes.
You know-
we do know this.
I apologize. I'm going right back into my centipede facts. Let me let you breathe for a second. You doing okay?
I'm all right. I'm okay.
See, what you guys didn't realize is that he had no idea that this was going to be
No.
happening. That was fantastic. Most people would have been like, there's no way.
Yeah.
You could have walked right off of this set and back to California, and I would have just been left here by myself, and then who would save me if the other
is
centipede
true.
bite goes bad?
That is true. You know, it wasn't so bad. It was getting used to the legs moving and that unique intensity, but it was light. I just started going to my neck. I was worried about my jugular.
Yeah, that's not the spot you'd want to get bitten. But what I was starting to say about the venom specifically is that not a lot is known about
Right.
centipede venom. But we do know that there are 2 specific properties that are incredibly bad.
Yes.
And what aspects are those?
So we have a neurotoxin and a cardio/myotoxin. The neurotoxin basically interferes with the ion channels, leading to the inflammation on your nerves, so you can experience horrible pain. Paralysis, you can get numbness. Okay, that is the neurotoxin working. On top of that, you have this cardio-myotype toxin that will increase your heart rate, which could cause cardiac arrhythmias, meaning your heart starts going high beats, abnormal beats coming from the wrong areas of the heart, and that's when we might need to shock somebody out of an abnormal rhythm, and that's why we have this machine.
Right. All right, so I'm gonna hand this big, beautiful creeper back off over here to Mario, off camera. Pretty successful.
Yeah.
We managed to handle the world's largest centipede species, crawled up your neck, and nobody was bitten. But that's not why you guys showed up. You showed up, you clicked on that thumbnail because you want to see me bitten by a very creepy looking creature. And that's where we are headed next. So let's go ahead and bring in the container here. Now, I want to explain to everybody that the next few minutes that you are going to see here may be pretty intense. Mario, go ahead and let's hand this guy in here.
Oh, it doesn't look so bad.
This is, trust me, it's gonna be bad. Let me turn it like this for the cameras. So this is the giant Asian cherry centipede. Now this is what would be considered an old world species. So because it's old world, the venom component is quite a bit different than the venom from New World. Now, I have been told that without question, this bite is going to put me in the most painful situation I have ever been in.
Okay.
Top 3 most painful are putting my hand into a box with 200 yellow jackets, the bite from a giant desert centipede, and the gimpy leaf.
Wow.
So this may take the new top tier level of pain when it comes to Coyote Peterson and discomfort. We're gonna get it out of the clear plastic capsule. It's going to go into this container. You should be good. We are not gonna let this one walk on your neck. And I'm going to gently get it under control. I was just looking over here at the monitor to see if there's much change in my heart rate. And a little bit?
A little bit.
A little bit. Okay, centipede is coming out of the container. All right, now to do this, I'm gonna place it in like this. Gently take off the bottom.
That's a nice way. Okay.
There it is. Please, please, please don't be able to climb out of there. We did not test this earlier, just so you guys know. Okay.
Look at the activity.
And you can see how it's using its antenna and all these little sensory organs up front to figure out where am I going. And one thing that I notice about centipedes is that they're rather intelligent. They're always investigating their environment, and they notice light, they notice shadows, they notice movement. You can tell that my speech pattern is beginning to change because I'm getting a little bit nervous. Look at my heart rate. It is definitely going up. Like, this is the moment of no turning back. Don't you climb out of here. This centipede gets out of here during the making of this episode, it's gone, it's gonna be running. So, all right, here's what I need to do. I need to very gently, I'm gonna kind of have to stand up a little bit. What I need to do is gently pin the centipede's head down so that I can get it right behind its head. And then the forcipules are where the bite is going to come from. So once I get the centipede under control, then we'll be in good shape. So I'm not gonna talk for a minute. I'm gonna just try to get this done without talking so that we can have the animal under control, and then we are getting into things. You see how fast it is? Wow. In case anybody's wondering, is this possibly hurting the myriapod? It's not. Their exoskeletons are like armor plating. So it's really about getting it pinned with this hand, and then I need to be able to pick it up with this one. So that's where this just gets a little bit difficult. Wow. Where's my heart rate?
Wow, you're actually doing really good. You're 126. You've actually calmed down.
That is probably the most difficult part about this entire situation. So keep that there because we may need to pull the top off of that. I probably squished it down.
Okay,
there we go. Just in case we need to get the centipede contained. Okay, so I'm gonna hold it. Wow, they are so incredibly strong. So if I turn it like this and hold really still, Mario can zoom in on those forcipules, and that is what is going to inflict the bite. Venom filled, this is gonna be bad. So because I don't wanna hold the centipede in this position for too long, we're gonna get right into it.
Okay.
Heart rate rising.
Yep.
So forearm's gonna be here.
Yep.
Now Doc, I don't wanna get bit in an area with a vein,
Right,
correct?
we do not want direct inoculation into your veins. So
Yeah.
there are two areas right in the middle, above and below that main vein.
Give me a target spot.
So we have this spot right here or right here.
Guys, please hit that donate button. This is for all of those rhinos out there. Heart rate rising. Every single dollar counts. I am literally willing to push it this far to bring awareness for rhino conservation. If we do not protect these animals, they are going to go effectively extinct in the next decade. This is completely worth it. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with the giant Asian centipede. 1, 2, 3. Here we go. He's got me with one thing. No, he's got both. Okay, you got that shot? I don't think I can let him stand much longer than that. How we doing on that shot? We good, 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 good? Oh, okay, let me there.
Yep, oh look at that, okay. You got that bite, breathe. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Tell me what you're feeling.
Immediate searing pain. Oh my gosh, that is instantaneous.
Sharp stabbing, pressure, burn. Tell everybody what you feel.
Okay, so, oh wow, hold on one second. Okay, so yes, the pain is bad. It is getting worse, but I'm feeling an incredible numbness in my arm right now.
Right, so.
It is pain, but it almost feels like a state of paralysis.
Right, which is that neurotoxin starting to take effect. And you can already see the redness around the area.
Yeah.
And some swelling.
Oh, holy mackerel, wow, wow.
So it's a paralysis but pain.
Hold on, just give me a second, give me a second.
So we always ask patients when they come to the emergency department, on a pain scale 1 to 10, 10 being the worst, 1 being not so bad. You have your own. You have your own pain scale because you're an individual that understands his own pain. Where does that rank for you right now, knowing that it may get worse or it might get better?
This is, I would call it a 5 out of 10 at the moment. But here's the thing, we are hot, what are we, a minute and a half in.
Right.
A minute and a half in, and one of the things that I learned with the giant desert centipede, sorry guys, wow, holy cow, I'm like super lightheaded.
Yeah, that seems like a bigger response and wheel than you had on your first one, in the sense of I already see some black and blues, I see some blood there. We're letting it be because this is what
Look at my arm is twitching.
we're doing for science. Exactly, you got muscle spasms.
Dude, I am not doing that. That is my arm is spazzing out right
Correct.
now.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I have seen, and let me know if I start getting flushed. Like I feel like I'm talking in tunnel vision right now.
You're doing all right.
Is when they attack rodents like mice, they need to subdue something very, very, very quickly.
Yep.
And I've seen mice like, look at my arm, it's convulsing.
Yeah, you can even see the back here is convulsing as well. So that is just all the ion channels are just getting kind of played with by this neurotoxin.
Holy mackerel. Oh yeah, okay, we're at about a 6. We're at about a 6 with the pain. On it, man, it's tough to tell where this is going, and that's where I'm like, I don't want to get too confident to be like, this isn't as bad as the giant desert centipede. I don't think initially it is, but it's hard to tell because it's only been a few seconds, and my arm is like doing something crazy weird right now.
Right, and not all the toxins have probably actually started to take effect yet.
Oh, look at the welt that's forming.
Oh yeah, there's a good wealth around there.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So we worry also about anaphylaxis, and that's why I have the EpiPen here.
How long before we know if like something really bad is happening to my body?
It could happen right now, or it could be delayed.
Okay, so
that's pretty wild. His muscles. And we're also looking at like.
Can somebody give me a drink real quick?
He's getting dry mouth, which is normal in this experience. Could be related to heart rate, blood pressure, as well as his sympathetic nervous system going to overdrive.
Thank you.
So if, as Coyote's drinking and focusing, if this were to actually happen to somebody outside, and like, what do? You want to clean the wound, get to an area of safety, get to the hospital, and then what could I do as an ER doctor treatment-wise for you, which we're holding off at the moment in the name of science until you tell me otherwise.
Yeah, my goal is to ride this out as long as possible. And right now I'm doing okay. Do we want the centipede off the table? Okay, go ahead, you can take it.
I mean, that's getting close to me, so I'm happy to let that go. And so, besides pain management, okay, anti-inflammatories, strong pain medicine, IV fluids, we're gonna put you on a cardiac monitor, which we have here, to monitor your blood pressure, your heart rate, and to see how you're doing.
All right, so the next thing that we wanted to do, you want to take my blood pressure?
Yeah, let's see how you do.
Okay.
Why not?
Oh man, my like calf muscles are feeling awkward too. Like is that just like my body's
your body's response.
reaction?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
No big, like, don't feel anything in your throat, no tongue swelling. Those are the big things we worry about for anaphylaxis, right? And then the other things we worry about from a neurotoxin also is your nausea, your vomiting, no diarrhea, thank goodness.
Dude, this is, wow, I gotta say one of the strangest things that I've experienced is my calf muscles are cramping up. Like I've been playing basketball for hours. Like I'm feel like locked in place right now.
Yeah, those are your muscles spasming, multiple different reasons.
Holy cow, like dude, it is definitely getting worse. It is unquestionably getting worse.
You can see his agitation and the fact that he wants to get up and move around like he would normally do, but he's doing his best to sit in the chair.
Let's do this real quick, because I just touched my arm. Poke around down here, like, feel how taut that is getting?
Yeah, so this is what we call induration. It's a medical term basically saying,
God, your cold fingertips, doc, that hurts, the cold hurts.
I apologize.
Wow, do it again though, let me oh wow, yeah.
Yeah,
cold.
your arm's nice and warm and my hands are
cold definitely affects it, wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow, I feel like I'm gonna wake up tomorrow morning or not sleep at all tonight, and this is all going to have felt like a complete hallucination. Between the lights and everything that I am so out of it right now. Like, I don't even know what I'm going through.
Right, so his pupils are a little bit dilated. That's just related to the sympathetic overdrive of your system, your fight or flight response, which is normal.
So while centipede venom is not well known, centipede venom is very unlikely to kill you unless your body has a negative allergic reaction.
Right.
And all of a sudden, as I said that, it felt like a volume cranker just went up one more notch.
Yeah.
And that's what I've experienced with a number of different venoms is like, there's the initial hit, and then there are these waves that start to build. And with centipede venom specifically, that neurotoxic element, that's what begins to wear you down mentally. Man, look at the ooze that's coming out of my arm.
Yeah, so you're getting different inflammatory markers that are just going in, your cytokines are popping, your interleukins, and everything's just like trying to help and attack it.
Yeah.
But you're also having a localized histamine reaction that's making you swell up more.
And that is my body essentially sending its defenders to the site of the venom to say, uh-oh, foreign invader, stop them where they are.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we learned a lot.
Yep.
A whole lot. When it comes to centipedes, why this is an animal you want to admire from a safe distance. And in answering the questions that we set up earlier, what we ultimately learned is that we can hook my body up to a machine to see how it reacts. We can take a look at what happens when a venomous bite happens and how you would treat it. And when it comes to ranking it as being the most painful experience I've ever been through, if I'm completely honest, we're not there yet, but I have many hours to still go. However, I will say that as an individual bite, this is one of the most extreme things I have ever done. And in this situation, where we got to film it together, for that, I feel incredibly
really
lucky.
Great. That was awesome.
Thank you.
Sorry you're going through all this pain.
Well, all part of entertainment and raising awareness for conservation and our planet species. But Dr. Jordan, thank you so much for being here tonight with us. Guys, check out the comment section and about section below. Remember, you can continue donating to Save the Horns. Just click on that donate button or go to savethehorns.com. Remember, all of the new Brave Wilderness merch at shopbravewilderness.com. Those proceeds also go towards the rhinos. And check out Dr. ER's YouTube page. Endless hours of entertaining reactions.
I hope so. And you get to learn a little too.
Absolutely. Well, that's what it's all about.
That's right.
Entertainment and education. I'm Coyote Peterson.
I'm Dr. ER.
Be brave.
Stay wild.
We'll see you on the next adventure. Woo! We did it.
Post-bite, once the venom had really set in, Dr. Jordan applied an anti-inflammatory shot and a healthy dose of lidocaine to alleviate swelling and pain, which worked temporarily for about 2 hours until the pain returned in full force. For nearly 30 hours, I battled a state of discomfort that included waves of intense pain, a sleepless night, and a renewed sense of respect for the potency of centipede venom. Completing this challenge was a mountain that had to be climbed, and from its summit, I see a bright future for critically endangered black rhinos. Please consider donating to Save the Horns. Your support is literally keeping the 25 rhinos we're sponsoring protected against the wrath of merciless poachers. Together, we can change the future for these vanishing giants.
Wow, their legs are sharp. Oh yeah, they're definitely sharp.
Dude, there's one in your ear. I think it's gonna make it to your brain.
Hi, I'm Coyote Peterson, and as we all know, I put myself in some pretty crazy scenarios to help educate you about our planet's most misunderstood animals. Recently, we produced an episode titled, I Put My Head into a Box of Spiders. Now, the purpose of this was to help those of you who are afraid of spiders get over your arachnophobia. Today, we're gonna take a look at a different fear, cat's aridophobia, which if you didn't know, is the fear of cockroaches. So to help with this experiment, we've built a little thing that I like to call the Roach table. Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce you to the Roach table. Now today's experiment speaks for itself. It's my head inside of a plastic box that we're going to fill with 500 roaches. But this experiment is a little bit different because it's not just me today. Let me introduce you to my good friend, Mike Easter.
a longtime friend of mine who is an expert when it comes to reptiles and amphibians. But he, believe it or not, is afraid of roaches and truly, I mean truly suffers from taxidermophobia. So today, we're gonna test out exposure therapy. Now, there may be the chance we get Mike to ultimately hold on to a cockroach. We may even be able to get him inside of the helmet, if we're lucky. But at the very least, exposure therapy is going to help him, hopefully, one day overcome his fear of these, for the most part, harmless creatures. Mike, are you ready for the experiment to begin?
Not really.
No?
No.
You want to just change spots real quick?
I wish you luck, but I want nothing to do with this.
Okay, so the first thing that we're going to introduce to the helmet is 10 Madagascar hissing cockroaches, which, as you can guess from their name, come from the island of Madagascar. Now my associate, Dr. Aldeboa, is going to add these creepy crawly insects on top of my head.
Coyote,
Yeah?
are you ready?
I think I'm as ready as I'm going to get, but let me ask Mike. Mike, are you ready?
It's hard for me to even watch this.
Yeah, this is like a worst case scenario
I
for
almost
you,
have to
isn't
look
it?
away.
Now, can you tell everybody out there watching right now, what would it be like for you to be trapped inside of this helmet? What would you be doing at this moment?
I couldn't imagine myself in that position. If I was, I'd be freaking out beyond belief.
Like you would just be in a complete state of frozen
I'd
panic.
actually probably pass out.
You would pass out.
Yeah, I couldn't even think about doing what you're about to do.
Okay, so Mike, if you're ready, let's count down and add some roaches. 3, 2, let the cataribophobia nightmare begin. 3, 2, let the cataribophobia
Castoribia.
Cass, is it? It's,
cataribophobia
Castor.
nightmare. That's a tongue twister.
Okay.
Mike, you want to count us down?
no thanks.
It's worth asking. All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let the roach nightmare begin. Oh my gosh, that is a really strange feeling. Wow, their legs are sharp. Oh yeah, they're definitely sharp. Yikes! Oh, and the hissing sound. That one in my ear definitely is digging in. Oh gosh, that feels so weird. It is chewing on the edge of my ear. Wow, that is extremely uncomfortable. But their legs allow them to walk up surfaces even as smooth as glass. And you can see we've got one who's just about to escape.
You guys should grab that. Okay, it's out. It's out of the container. You guys know that? It's free.
Is the one escaping, Mike? Are you
Yeah,
getting
it's good.
nervous?
No, yeah, I don't. Just watching them move makes my skin crawl.
So the fact that one has gotten out of the helmet really makes your skin crawl.
Makes it a little closer to me, which I don't like. No one seems to care.
Mike, you want to come over and put it back in the helmet for me?
Yeah, dude, sure, not a problem.
My goal today would just be to get Mike to hold on to one cockroach. If we could just get that far, it's going to be a big day. I mean, the fact that he's even here watching this experiment is a really good sign. Exposure therapy is the #1 way to start getting over your phobia of anything in life, whether it's an insect, an arachnid, or even something like a clown, which I kind of feel like a clown inside of this box with a bunch of roaches crawling around in my head. Well, 10 hissing cockroaches is definitely a creepy feeling, but I think it's time to up the ante. What do you think, Mike?
I think regardless of my answer, you're gonna do it anyway, so go ahead.
Mario, let's add 25 more roaches. Now this species is called the dubia roach, and these will make up the majority of our roach nightmare today.
Oh, those are fast.
That is a whole nother level.
Okay,
Whole
there's-
nother level.
Now there's one getting out again. Mario?
Oh my gosh. Wow. I kind of feel like if you've seen one roach, you've seen them all, but believe it or not, and Mike, I bet you didn't know this, there are around 4,600 species of roaches that inhabit our planet. And they can be found on pretty much every single continent.
All right, we've got another daily special here. It's about 25. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay.
Now I'm beginning to know what it feels like to have been on Fear Factor. And Mike, here's another little tidbit that you probably didn't know. At one point in time, Joe Rogan actually ate a hissing cockroach as a part of the series. How about that, Mike? You think you could eat a cockroach?
There's not a dollar amount that would convince me to eat a roach. That's gross.
Roach is in the helmet, Roach is outside of the helmet. Mario, let's just flood the helmet with roaches. I think I'm ready at this point. Oh, man. Oh my gosh, that's crazy.
Oh gosh, this is so gross.
Ah! Oh my gosh.
So weird.
Oh, they don't smell good. Oh, this is a whole nother level. Wow, 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 wow. Okay, this is, I have chills.
Dude, there's one in your ear. I think it's gonna make it to your brain.
Actually, that's one of the things that people fear the most, is that roaches will come and lay eggs inside of their ears. That is a complete misnomer. It is definitely not going to happen. It smells horrible inside of this right now. Just so you guys know, the helmet is really beginning to stink.
What is going on? Why is this happening?
Mike, as you probably know, the point where most people encounter cockroaches is at night scurrying around their kitchen. The reason that people are so afraid of them is because they are so incredibly fast. In fact, based on their size and leg length, they are one of the fastest terrestrial animals on the planet.
How does that one feel in your ear?
I don't even really notice it that much anymore. Is it in my ear?
It's in your ear.
Yeah, no, it is in my ear. I thought it was in my ear. Not exactly the most comfortable
It's made
scenario.
its home there. It's really grossing me out.
More roaches?
Let's add another 100 and see what happens. It'd be great if you could give me a warning before that happens.
When it rains, it pours.
That's a lot.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's take a second.
Give that one. He's going. Okay. There's one. Just grab that one if you don't mind. I think they fly.
Actually, Mike, technically, almost all roach species are capable of flying.
Oh, awesome.
Wow. The smell on the inside of this box right now is not pleasant. That I can tell you with certainty. The sound of all of those little legs crawling on top of each other and scraping at the glass of the helmet is the weirdest noise. I don't even know how to explain it. It just makes your whole body squirm.
Ready for more?
Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike's excited. All right, guys, more roaches. Let me know when so I can close my eyes.
Now, was that enough time?
Mm-hmm. Okay, at this point, we have 500 roaches inside of the helmet. And as you can see, they're not eating me alive. You can see that they're actually more interested in getting away from the front of my face, and that's primarily because I'm breathing out carbon dioxide. They don't want anything to do with that, and they're actually all migrating towards the back of the helmet. And it's pretty interesting. So it goes to show you that roaches actually want nothing to do with you if you're a human. But Mike, at this point, what do you think? Is this really as bad as you thought it was going to turn out to be?
I would say it's not quite as bad as I thought it would be, but this doesn't make me any less fearful of these creepy crawlies.
Well, I gotta tell you, Mike, I'm at least proud of you for going through the exposure therapy today of me getting inside of the roach table and having 500 of these creepy crawlies put on top of my head. Like I said earlier, guys, exposure therapy is definitely the best way to overcome some of your phobias. Start by just witnessing something visually, and if you're brave enough, work your way up from there by eventually interacting with whatever that fearsome thing might be. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. Mario, I think I'm ready to come out of the roach table.
Are all the roaches gone?
Okay, bite from this, is potentially lethal. Things are about to get dangerous. That is one big funnel web spider right there. Just bit the pipette. You can feel the power in that strike.
Australia is arguably the most dangerous continent in the world. I'm sure that as your imagination begins to run wild, you are likely thinking about being snatched from a river's edge and eaten alive by a giant saltwater crocodile. Or perhaps you are envisioning how terrifying it would be if you were to stumble upon and be bitten by one of its incredibly venomous snakes, like the eastern brown. However, it's not only the reptiles that you need to be weary of. Tonight we are exploring just outside of Sydney, the most densely populated city in Australia, which also happens to be home to the world's deadliest spider, the Sydney funnel web. Armed with a set of massive fangs and an incredibly toxic venom, just a single bite from this spider has the ability to kill a human. Sounds terrifying, yet these spiders are rather elusive and tend to avoid humans at all cost. In fact, they can be rather difficult to find, as building their silk-lined, funnel-shaped burrows under rocks or in rotting logs keeps them hidden and out of sight.
Ooh, covered in ants. Watch out for that. Let's go on the back side of this tree. There's some logs to flip over here.
So unless you are like me and are flipping over debris in the environment, your odds of encountering one are pretty unlikely.
You ready? Lift this up. Oh, spider! Huge spider! Right there, right there, right there, right there.
Is that a tarantula?
No. I think that's a funnel web spider. Right there, just came out from underneath that log. Look at its abdomen right there. Holy cow. That's definitely a funnel web spider. Hold on, I need to get in this container. Oh my gosh, did you see that? It's a good thing I picked up the log from the other side. It was just burrowed right underneath there.
That's a tiny container, dude. That looks too big to be a funnel web.
No, it definitely is. Look at the front of its body.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that spider's so big I don't think it's gonna fit in this container. Mario, you have that bigger jar?
Yeah, I think I might have one in my backpack. Hang on.
Let me see if I can peel back some of these grasses.
It looks like a tarantula, but I...
Ooh, it's moving, hurry up! Okay, bite from this is potentially lethal. I'm just gonna set that down and see if I can coax it. I'm gonna try to coax it right into the container. Now they cannot jump, but they will lunge forward. It's in there. There we go. Wow! Look at that.
Oh yeah.
That is 100% a funnel web spider.
That is a big one.
Wow.
We cannot miss getting this up close for the cameras.
Okay, let me grab my bag and let's head up to those rocks. Wow! That is without question a funnel web spider. The question that remains is, what species is it? I want to find a good flat open rock.
How about that one right there?
This?
Yeah, that looks
that's
pretty. Or that one. Is that better?
Yeah, that's a little bit better. Let's see if it'll just sit on top of the rock surface like this.
Yeah, I like this. This is good.
Wow.
Yeah, let's have a look.
That is intimidating. It does. It looks like a tarantula. I know you said, is it a tarantula? You sure it's a funnel web spider? 100% certain it's a funnel web spider. One of the ways that you can identify this species as such is they have a very bald cephalothorax. Now they do have hairs on their legs and on the abdomen, but that is how you can recognize a funnel web spider. And that's the perfect sort of place to find them, underneath logs where they can wait in ambush for their prey. Now they will also obviously be inside of burrows with those little funnel web systems. And whoa, am I glad that I picked up the log from the end that I did. Now my fingers didn't tuck underneath the log. I was on the top side, and that's why you always pick up a log from an area that you can see, because if you tuck your fingers underneath, you grapple onto that spider and you take a bite, you are on your way to the hospital without question. Okay, now I know it's probably kind of tough to see it inside of this container, so let me see if I can take it out and place it on the rock here, and let's get some shots with it. You ready for that?
Okay, let me help the guys break out the lights real quick.
Okay, yeah, we're losing light here. All right, guys, we have the lights set up now, and in the lights, the spider is even more intimidating looking. You can see the sheen on the legs and the cephalothorax. It's already cast a little bit of webbing inside the container there, and I think if you guys are ready, let's take it out of the container and see if it will just hold its ground here on the rock. Now, this is an extremely aggressive spider species, and oftentimes they won't run, but what they will do is rear up and show you those fangs and those front legs. Okay.
We have to be very cautious.
Yeah, I'm gonna just gently tilt this down like this, and let's see if it will crawl out and just stop right there. Here we go. Okay, let's see if I can get it to stay still. Oh, you stay. Actually, maybe I'll do this. It seems to be more comfortable inside the container.
Yeah, that works for me. How about you, Mark?
Okay, it's just such a dangerous spider. I mean, even more so than a wandering spider. Oh, okay. Look at those hooked legs, allowing it to hold onto the edge of the container. Let me see if I do this. Maybe if I put the container over top of it and give it just a second to stay right there. Now, one reason that the bite is so bad is that because when they bite, their fangs are so long, they actually will hook into you, hold on, and continue to pump venom. And it's not like a black widow or a redback spider where they might give you a warning bite. A bite from this spider species is full on as much venom as I can inject. Okay, let's try this. Everybody got a decent shot on the spider? There you have it. Wow. And just for scale, look at how big that spider is next to my hand. Not taking my eyes off of the arachnid. That is definitely as close as I feel like I can get. All right, Mark, let's try this. I'm gonna try to present it from just its still position right there. And like all spider species, you see those very defined 8 legs, but they also have very long pedipalps up front, and that helps them to grapple onto their prey. And when they rear up, they show those fangs, and their fangs are incredibly long. Longer in some cases than even some of the snake species here in Australia. Now, one of the reasons that this spider is considered so dangerous is because they can oftentimes be found in residential areas. The Sydney funnel web specifically is oftentimes found right in people's backyards. That's why they tell you if you're out there working in the garden, make sure you have on gloves. You can be tilling up dirt, accidentally grab one of these things, it bites you on the tip of the finger, and you may be seeing symptoms in as few as 15 minutes. Now, the immediate bite, you're definitely going to notice. The fangs are long enough to draw blood, but immediately you will feel throbbing in your finger, and shortly after you'll start to feel a tingling in your mouth and lips. Now, if you are bitten by one of these spiders, you want to apply compression to the entire arm. So let's say you're bitten on the tip of your finger, put compression straps up the length of your arm. That will help slow the movement of the venom into your body. Wow, that is impressive. Now, there are around 40 recognized species of funnel web spider, with one of the most dangerous being the Sydney funnel web. And I can't identify exactly if this is a Sydney or not, but what we do want to do is actually take this spider back with us into civilization. Where we want to go is the Australian Reptile Park. It's moving. The Australian Reptile Park is the one place in Australia where they actually extract venom from these spiders and then in turn build an anti-venom for people that are bitten. So this spider that we found right here might actually be used to save some lives. How cool is that? Awesome. All right, we are taking this spider to the Australian Reptile Park. Wow, what a find.
Australia is home to a collection of dangerous arachnids, from the redback to the huntsman, and ultimately the funnel web. This beautiful continent is crawling with venomous spiders. Catching a funnel web spider is something I had always hoped to do. And now with one in my possession, it was time that the crew and I headed to the Australian Reptile Park. Famous for being the only sanctuary of its type in Australia, they are renowned for their spider and snake venom milking program. Established in 1948, the Australian Reptile Park and Wildlife Sanctuary is regarded as one of the country's premier animal attractions. Considered a hands-on learning facility, they are home to a countless number of animal species, including Tasmanian devils, and even one incredibly friendly Komodo dragon. And while their animal attractions have made them a world-renowned place to visit, it is actually their commitment to saving human lives that brings the crew and I knocking at their laboratory door.
Hi.
Hey, how you going?
You must be Kane.
That's correct.
Hi, Kane. I am Coyote. I will let you finish playing with whatever you're playing with there. What is that?
Just feeding a little redback.
Oh, redback. Okay, cool. We did an episode on redbacks, but I brought you something a little more intimidating. I'm pretty sure we have a Sydney funnel web spider.
Excellent, my favorite.
Yeah, take a look. I know there are various different species, but we caught that one last night.
Local to this area?
Yes,
Local to
about
here?
30 minutes from here.
Excellent.
Oh, look how big it is.
It is a very large specimen you've brought me. I'm very happy with that.
Okay.
It is a Sydney funnel web. That's the good news. It is definitely a Sydney funnel web.
Is it a male? That's the big question.
It is not.
Oh, not a male.
No.
So this is not the venom gold that you guys are searching for.
No, it is the males. We use their venom to make the anti-venom.
Right.
This is a female.
Okay, I was really hoping that we were going to get to milk a spider today. Now, do you guys milk the females for
Yeah,
anything?
we do. We definitely
you do?
milk the females, yeah.
Can we milk this spider?
We can definitely milk this spider.
Great, so the venom does still have a value of some sort.
It definitely does. We send the venom away for different research laboratories to look into the venom.
Oh, sweet. Okay, well, we're still going to get to milk a spider, and that's exactly what we wanted. Now, can I actually milk the spider?
I will definitely let you milk that spider.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, well, why don't we do this? Do you have another spider that you can show me how to milk it? I don't know, different species or something like that. I don't really trust myself trying to milk it for the first time.
Now, funnel webs, they love to defend themselves vigorously. So if you do touch one, as you might find out, they will stand up. They will defend themselves.
Is this a male?
This is a female as well. This is a younger female.
Okay, wow, lot smaller.
A lot smaller.
So what's the big difference for anybody out there watching between the males and the females? Because I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, okay, well, with tarantulas, the females are always girthier and heavier than the males. I guess that's the same way with the funnel webs. If I were to look at that, I would think, okay, that's definitely a male as compared to this.
Now, the large abdomen at the back is definitely one way to tell. The abdomen size compared to the head size is one way to tell the female, and the thicker legs.
Okay.
So the smaller of the two would be the male.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it is the male that has the most potent venom and the one that is extremely dangerous.
Definitely.
But a bite from a female, this wouldn't have actually killed me last night.
Most likely wouldn't kill you. Unless you're unhealthy or something, it's not going to do you a whole lot of damage.
Okay.
But we have to treat every bite as a potentially life-threatening bite.
Okay, so getting into milking.
Yes.
How does this process work? Mark, you got an okay shot there?
Yep. So what will happen, we got a little vacuum hose going down to a little pump down there. We don't want to have too much suction and suck the whole spider in, but just touching them, you can see they stem. You can actually see the drops of venom on the tips of the fangs. And that's what we want. We want to get that venom from those fangs into the pipette. So when she stands up, you can see she's very, very aggressive there, pushing in some venom. We just draw the pipette down the tips of the fangs. They are hollow just like a hypodermic syringe. And by drawing that down as she's producing that venom, we're just sucking it up into the tip of this pipette.
Now, how many of the males do you need to milk before you get an actual vial of venom you can build an anti-venom from?
We look at having about 250 to 400 males in any 1 year that we will have to milk every single day right through the year to keep up with the quota we need to give to the Commonwealth Serum Laboratories.
And in your opinion, would you say this is the most dangerous spider in the world?
Definitely, definitely. You really do not want to get bitten by one of these. The good thing we have in Australia is the reptile park produces the venom to make the anti-venom. Since the anti-venom came out in 1981, we've had no deaths attributed to a funnel web spider bite. So
Really?
It's very good.
Okay, so the research is working, the anti-venom is working, but how many people would you say are bitten every year? Because this is an extremely common species that's found in suburban areas.
Definitely. We have a lot of people and a lot of conflict with the funnel web spiders in the area. There's about 5 people every year that require a serious amount of antivenom. There are also bites that do present to hospital that don't have a severe envenomation.
Right.
And then may not require antivenom. It's always a last resort, the antivenom.
Okay, now the spider that we caught last night is a female, and fortunately I was not bitten, but if I was, what would I have wanted to do in that instance?
First thing you want to do is a full compression bandage on the area you've been bitten.
Okay.
If that was on your hand, any bracelets, rings, watches, jewelry has to come off straight away. Because
So
it
this
will
would have been
swell.
problematic.
Definitely take it off. It
Okay.
will swell up straight away.
Let's say I was bitten on the tip of my finger.
Basically what we're going to go with a bite is you want to go around the bite site first of all.
Okay.
These bandages are great. They're going to tell us the correct tension to put it on. When they form a square, we know that they're going the right tension to restrict the flow of the venom. You go around the bite site, and then what you're going to do, because it's at the fingertip, we're going to go the whole limb. We don't stop at the wrist. We don't stop at the elbow. We go as far up as the bandage will allow us. Now that pressure, you can feel that's pretty tight.
Oh yeah, I feel like a mummy.
What the idea is it's restricting the flow of that venom going through your lymphatic system. We want to restrict that flow, and hopefully the venom will neutralize itself down here and not right through your body.
Okay.
Once you've got that on there, you're going to stay still. If you've got a button-up shirt or a sling, you put that on, and you want to get to hospital as soon as possible. Okay. Calling an ambulance or getting someone to drive you. You don't want to try and drive a vehicle yourself while you are bitten.
Yeah, I can certainly feel that it is providing quite a bit of pressure to my arm.
Yep.
Now, like I said, as we all know, I was not bitten, but here's the million-dollar question. Have you ever been bitten?
I've never been bitten by any spiders, luckily.
Really?
So no
wow,
spiders.
so you're extra careful when you're working with these
Definitely
spiders.
have to be extra careful working with it.
Yeah, well, when we were filming last night, I'll tell you what, I was nervous to be around that spider. This is good to know. I mean, it sounds like this is something that everybody should have in their first aid kit here in Australia.
Definitely in Australia. Venomous snakes around the world differ in different areas you wouldn't. In Australia, with our elapids, we need this same bandage will work on any of our venomous snakes as well as our funnel web spiders.
All right, well, let's take this off my arm. I've seen you milk a spider. I think if you guys are ready, I am ready to milk the Sydney funnel web. Does that sound good to you?
That sounds great. I'll put this little one away.
Things are about to get dangerous. Oh boy, here we go. I'm just gonna gently coax her out. There she is. That is one big funnel web spider right there. All right, I'm going to reach over here to grab the pipette. It's coming off of its clip. Here we go. Oh, wow, look at that. Wow. Okay, you can already see the venom coming off the tips of the fangs. And what Kane said is that I actually want to just kind of turn her a little bit.
So if you touch her back leg on this side, she'll turn to face the pipette.
Got it.
Going in with the pipette. Okay. Oh, my hand is shaking. Just gently taking that venom off the edge of the fangs. Wow, there we go. Okay, there's definitely venom there inside the pipette. We get her to rear up a second time, and she will just keep producing venom, right, Kane?
Yeah, that's correct. Even once you've got her up like that with the legs up, a gentle blow right towards those fangs will sometimes get her to push some more out for you. That's it. Just draw down the fangs. Yeah.
Just bit the pipette. You can feel the power in that strike. Okay, I think that's all the venom she has to give, and you know, it's not as much as I thought was going to come out of there. I could see why you guys have to milk so many of these spiders to build up a vial to create that anti-venom.
Yeah, exactly. It's not as much as you're going to get from one of our venomous snakes in Australia, but it does show you how potent it is. It's only a little amount that does a lot of damage.
Okay, now what do I want to do with this?
We'll put the pipette back safely over here.
Okay, I'll hand that
Take
to
that
you.
for you.
I'm going to just put this little capsule back over her for safety's sake.
Excellent.
There you go. Wow. Whew, that was nerve-wracking. And you do this every day, don't you?
Every day. I love it.
Wow. Well, this was so cool. Thank you so much for letting me milk
Not a problem at all.
a funnel web
Appreciate
spider.
it.
Now, it wasn't a male. It was only female, but that doesn't matter. The venom is still of value. Now, for everybody out there watching, if you come across one of these spiders, try to safely catch it and bring it here to the
Definitely.
Australian Reptile Park, because this is the only place that...
Milks funnel webs for the production of anti-venom in Australia.
That's right, guys. So if you bring one here, there is the chance that you're going to save a life. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.
The Australian Reptile Park is the only sanctuary of its type in Australia that has a spider and snake venom milking program. And the good news is that their anti-venom creation has been saving thousands of lives for over 50 years. If you encounter a snake or a spider while exploring in Australia and admire the animal from a safe distance, your odds of being bitten are very unlikely. However, unexpected bites do occur, and if you find yourself in this worst-case scenario, make sure to stay calm and seek medical treatment immediately.
I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to free handle the most lethal scorpion species in the United States. All right, you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Whew, that definitely gets your nerves going.
There's an old saying that things go bump in the night, which usually refers to anything mysterious and more often than not, frightening. There it is, the desert millipede. 1,000 legs. Awesome. Now imagine yourself out walking alone in the darkness of Arizona's Sonoran Desert. A wild place that comes alive in the dark with spiders, snakes, and the one creature that personally makes my skin crawl, the scorpion. Armed with a set of pincers and a venom-injecting stinger, they are about as creepy as nature gets. I love being out in the desert at night. The temperatures are so much cooler, animals are moving all over the place, but it's a little creepy. I mean, I can see up ahead of us here with the flashlight, but as soon as these lights go off and the black lights come on, it becomes much more difficult to see anything other than the scorpions. Now the black light is just what you need for finding scorpions because the UV actually causes them to illuminate a bright yellowish green. What we want to do is kind of comb the edges of the wash, get up into some rock piles, and see if we can get our hands on one of these creepy crawlies. But what if I told you that these creatures, which most consider living nightmares, were actually more afraid of us than we should ever be of them? So tonight I'm going to prove that scorpions, despite being creepy, are not out there to get us, and in fact, really just want to be left alone.
There we go. Right there, right there. Wow, look how quick that is.
That is definitely a striped-tailed scorpion. The most common scorpion in the Sonoran Desert is the striped-tailed.
Got him.
Nice.
Ooh boy, that makes you nervous.
Back here toward the light.
Oh boy, okay. That takes a lot of nerve to pick up a scorpion that small. Now, the sting from this specific scorpion, the striped tail, is no more potent than that of a honeybee. But even still, this is not something that you ever want to go out and try to pick up like you just saw me do. But they're so quick that they run all over the place, and I kind of figured that the only way I could get him up close for the camera was to actually pick him up. Now, what's really difficult about handling a scorpion this small is that when I tailed it, I had to actually grab the knuckle that's right where the tail meets the vesicle. Now, the vesicle is what's holding all of the venom, and then of course they have a stinger right on the end. Let me see if I can get him to walk up on this rock here. All right, you got your shot? I'm gonna let go, ready?
Yep.
1, 2, 3. Don't get too close, but to identify this little arachnid, just look for a series of dark stripes on the tail. My favorite part of any scorpion encounter is always the release. And with one species down, our search continued into the night.
Giant desert hairy right here. Oh, look at the size of that one.
Wow, that is a big scorpion. I'm just gonna tail him. These ones are a lot easier to tail than the little ones. Got him.
Awesome.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Now
Nice.
this is the largest species of scorpion that we have in the United States and here in the Sonoran Desert. That is the giant desert hairy scorpion. And he also has his dinner in his mouth. Look at that, he's eating a moth. Now the way to easily tell the giant desert hairy apart from the other scorpions here in the Sonoran Desert, aside from how large they are, is they have all of these little hairs. See all those little hairs on the vesicle around the stinger? That's why they call them hairy. Now, scorpions, like all arachnids, have 8 legs, and these ones up front here, the pedipalps with the pinchers on the end, that's actually just a modified set of legs that helps them hunt. Now, scorpions are perfectly designed for this environment, but they do have quite a few predators. Rodents will eat them, lizards will eat them, so a scorpion of this size is much easier for a predator to pick off than some of the smaller species. All right, let's get this guy back on his log so he can finish his moth dinner. Of the nearly 1,500 scorpion species in the world, only around 25 have a sting that is potentially dangerous to humans. And in the United States, the only one that packs such a punch is the bark scorpion.
Right here.
Ha! Look at that. There's a bark scorpion right on the underside of this branch.
You sure that's a bark?
I am 100% positive that's a bark scorpion. They have a very long tail and extra long, skinny pinchers. You don't need a robust set of pinchers when you have a venom that's so toxic. All it takes is one sting and that prey is instantly doomed. Now, the other way that I can easily tell this is a bark scorpion is that this is the only species that likes to climb, and they actually practice what's called negative geotaxis, which is hanging upside down. And this scorpion, as you can see, is just perfectly balancing there, which means it can move on the top of this branch or the bottom of this branch regardless and catch its food. So if a moth comes in close, boom, he's gonna snatch out with those pinchers, inflict a lethal sting,
and then he has his dinner. All right, now scorpions are something that you would never, ever, ever want to handle, but what I'm gonna do now is gently get this guy onto my hand to prove that scorpions aren't out there just to sting you. If I handle this scorpion gently, I'm pretty confident that it's not gonna sting. But if I am tagged, this is going to be extremely painful. I'm Coyote Peterson, and I'm about to free handle the most lethal species of scorpion in the United States. Are you ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. That is the most venomous species of scorpion in the United States. And he's on my hand. All right, this makes me a little bit nervous. I want to see if I can get him to just sit still. Whew, that definitely gets your nerves going. Now, as long as I handle this creature gently and don't apply any pressure, I believe that I will be just fine. Scorpions sting people when they feel threatened. So let's say this species specifically, they love to hang upside down underneath things. It could be a piece of wood, it could be your lawn chair. You come outside and you grab onto that and you squeeze down on the scorpion. If it feels pressured, like it's going to get squashed, it's going to sting as a defense. As you can see right now, he doesn't have his tail or his stinger in a defensive position. He's just curious, he's looking around. He says, this is not a tree, this is different. And for me, this is also different and extremely nerve-wracking. But the reason that I'm doing this is to prove that these scorpions aren't just out there to sting you.
Now, how bad would it be if the scorpion were to sting you?
Okay, there he goes, he stopped. If this scorpion were to sting me right now, I would be in incredible pain for the next 48 hours. I don't know how my body would react to the venom. I could go into anaphylactic shock. Not likely, but at the very least, extreme pain for 48 hours, depending how far the venom spread into my arm. I could lose use in my arm for a couple of days. My tongue could swell up, I could foam at the mouth, cramps in the stomach, all sorts of bad stuff that you don't want to have to deal with. What I just want to do right now is stay as still as possible. The scorpion has found a spot where he feels comfortable, I feel comfortable, and as you can see, he doesn't feel agitated. I'm being as gentle as I can with him, and I must tell you right now, this is never, ever anything I recommend someone go out and try and do. This is the most venomous species of scorpion in the United States, and it is getting a little too close to the edge of my sleeve. Come on, buddy, come back up this way. All right, at this point, I think he's getting a little agitated, so what I want to do is get him back up into the tree so he can continue hunting. This has been one extreme experience with the most venomous species of scorpion in the United States. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. Arizona is home to the only scorpion anti-venom program in North America, and they only administer treatment to around 100 people a year. What's even more incredible is that no scorpion-related deaths have been reported in Arizona for more than 40 years. So the next time you see a scorpion, remember, these arachnids are more afraid of us than we should ever be of them. As long as you give a scorpion space and respect, there's virtually no chance it's going to sting you.
Oh, guys! Praying mantis!
Now, one thing that I love about these insects is look at that face. Looks just like an alien from another planet. Pretty cool exploring the countryside here in Japan, just scouting some location. Ooh, look at that. Oh no, that's a dead praying mantis. Oh buddy. I hate to see them when they're dead. That stinks. There's a garden right over here. Oh, guys! Praying mantis!
Nice.
Yes! I just saw a dead one. This one's alive.
Cool. You want to film a scene?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely worth filming a little segment with this guy. Awesome. Look at that.
Cool. Let's head right over here.
Okay.
There we go. All right.
Sweet.
Awesome.
Wow. Good timing. Rain is moving in.
Yeah, I think we only have a few minutes to do this, but
Definitely worth getting a little segment.
you know your
with.
mantis facts, right?
Oh yeah. Well guys, we're just walking down the road right now, scouting locations, and right in the middle of the road is this beautiful green praying mantis. Now, we featured praying mantis on the channel
a couple of times, but never a species here in Japan. Now there's several different species that live in Japan, so we'll have to look this up to identify it properly, but we just can never pass up the opportunity to get one of these insects up close for the cameras. And this one is being incredibly calm. Most of the time they're trying to pinch me with those front arms or trying to fly away. So we figured, why not get a quick little scene with this insect? Now, as you guys know, all insects break down into 3 parts: the head, the thorax, and the abdomen. What's really cool about praying mantis is look how long that thorax is just behind the head. And then of course you've got this large abdomen, which indicates that it is likely a female. Now the females do grow larger than the males, and as you may know, and if you don't know now you're about to know, when the males and the females breed, afterwards the females bite the heads off of the males and eat the bodies. So it's sort of a cannibalistic sort of situation, but still pretty cool. I mean, these insects have a very unique life process, and after they lay their eggs, they end up dying. So we are just at the beginning of egg laying season, so this praying mantis doesn't have too much time left, but certainly still something really cool to get up close for the cameras. Now, one thing that I love about these insects is look at that face. Looks just like an alien from another planet. Those big buggy eyes. Now they do have incredible eyesight, and as we know, praying mantis are ambush hunters. Because of their color, they can stay camouflaged in all the plants where they live, and then they wait for something to come close, latch out with those front arms, grab onto it, crush it with those sharp little spikes, and then of course, eat their prey. What a cool creature. Now let me turn it like this. You see on the back, covering the abdomen there, these are the wings. And praying mantis are capable of flying, usually only for a short distance. They tend to want to move from spot to spot more so just by crawling amongst all of the foliage. But if some predatory threat comes into the environment, they of course can then take off and quickly escape. You may be asking yourself, well, what would eat a bug that's as cool as a praying mantis? Certainly birds, different reptiles, and even mammals will take this species. Wow, pretty sweet. And one thing that I love about the praying mantis is how inquisitive and intelligent this insect seems. Look at those big eyes. Always curious, always paying attention to its surroundings. And what you may not know is that praying mantis are both diurnal and nocturnal, meaning that you'll see them active during the day, but also at night. Now, the praying mantis is an opportunistic feeder, meaning it will pretty much take anything that it can grapple onto, even things bigger than itself. Things such as small frogs, even lizards and small snakes are capable of being eaten by this insect. Wow. I absolutely love praying mantis, and people oftentimes ask me what my favorite animal is, and as you guys know, it is the common snapping turtle. But when it comes to insects, the praying mantis has always been the one that I've been fascinated with ever since I was a little kid. But this is pretty cool, walking down the street, scouting locations, and we happen upon the one and only praying mantis. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, there's actually a garden right over here. She was headed in that direction, so let's place her in there, and hopefully she'll find some cool food to eat. All right, back into this garden you go. I can guarantee you that on North Bass Island, there are gazillions of chiggers, probably more than there are stars in the sky. Tall grasses like this are an absolute perfect place for chiggers to, almost like ticks, quest and get themselves on their host species. Now, I'm barefoot, which I would never recommend, but considering the fact that I am trying to get myself bitten by chiggers, this seems like an interesting way to possibly accomplish that feat. Okay, today is a solo expedition where I'm going to attempt to be eaten alive by chiggers. Now, we'll learn more about chiggers as we embark upon this expedition, but I will be kayaking from Middle Bass to North Bass Island in the hopes of finding a swarm of these microscopic creatures. This is going to be an epic adventure. It will take me roughly an hour and 15 minutes to kayak from Middle Bass to North Bass Island. And then once we make it to North Bass, I will enter the island through Manila Bay. It gives me the entry point to the large marsh. Beautiful morning to be on the water, that's for sure. So what exactly is a chigger? Well, to keep it simple, they are the larva stage of something called a harvest mite. Technically considered arachnids, they belong to the same class as ticks and spiders. But unlike their larger cousins, while in the larva stage, they are so tiny they can't be seen with the human eye and measure 1/50th of an inch or less.
Okay, we have made it to the western edge of North Bass Island. I gotta say, the solo expedition filming is not super simple, so I gotta give a big shout out to my main man, Les Stroud, who filmed all those seasons of Survivor Man by himself. Holy cow. Actually, going through all this underbrush might help me get chiggers. Old tree that's falling down right in the middle of this place. There we go. Whoop. Oh, almost lost the GoPro there. What a mess. Jeez. Okay, status update. I'm in the middle of the marsh. The moving has gotten a little bit easier through these big lily pads. They're taller, which allows me to glide through the environment just a touch better. But when it comes to finding any animals, I mean, they can hear me coming from a mile away. So, oh, I see an eagle's nest and 2 eagles inside the eagle's nest. Holy cow. All right, first animal of the expedition is officially a juvenile bald eagle. You can see there's another one a little bit higher up in the tree. Very cool. This place is just swallowing me alive. There's only so many shots you can possibly get of being stuck in a prehistoric swamp, or prehistoric looking rather. And the only thing missing from this is maybe some brachiosaurs grazing on all this plant life. That'd make it a little bit more interesting.
While there is a chance I could encounter a species of chigger in the marsh, it is much more likely that I will become a buffet line if I venture to the other side of the island to explore on foot.
Interesting little forest area here. Look at this rock structure. Now, I'm barefoot, which I would never recommend entering a forest barefoot, but considering the fact that I am trying to get myself bitten by chiggers, this seems like an interesting way to possibly accomplish that feat. Old dilapidated structure here. Every once in a while, when you stop at a random spot on an island and start exploring lost areas, you come across some pretty cool stuff.
The harvest mite life cycle can vary and depends heavily on species and environment. But what's crazy is that these alien-looking arachnids can live for nearly a year. Most eggs hatch within a week. This is known as the pre-larva stage, and after developing for several days, they evolve into hungry parasites. This is the 6-legged chigger phase, and boy are they ravenous. They target a host, engorge on skin, and eventually fall off. Plump and happy, they are now in the nymph stage, where they develop another pair of legs and mature into the adult phase. As adults, they feed on tiny arthropods and their eggs, live in the soil, eventually breed, and the cycle repeats.
Check out the shoe I just found. That is a Nike Air Foam Posit, worn by Penny Hardaway, my favorite basketball player of all time. That is insane. Any sneakerhead out there knows that this is actually a very expensive shoe to find on the side of an abandoned island. This is the all black edition. I have the blue and the black tiger stripe ones. I'm gonna definitely keep that. We're docking. Okay, I have landed at my final destination on North Bass Island. Now we're gonna take to foot and see what sort of things we can find. Now the goal is to find some tall grasses that I can walk through, eventually sit down in and have a drink of water and see if I collect any chiggers. So tall grasses like this are an absolute perfect place for chiggers to, almost like ticks, quest and get themselves on their host species. Pretty much any terrestrial species has the potential of picking up chiggers. Pretty much got to the end of this run of the field. I'm gonna cut over and go down another track. It is unbearably hot. Feels a lot better on the water. This looks like another great place to get chiggers. Look at that. Let's walk in here and see what happens. Into the underbrush. Whoa, this is very disorienting. Okay, I have completely been swallowed by grasses that are taller than I am, covered in mayflies. Ugh. I'm just gonna sit here for a few minutes, give any little bugs the opportunity to get on me. And trust me, the chiggers will know that I am here if they are present in these grasses, because they can sense all of the sweat and carbon dioxide coming off of my body.
A chigger bite is painless, but the way it happens will make your skin crawl. These parasites attach to a host, pierce the skin with their chelicerae, inject enzymes into the bite wound that break down cell content into a digestible meal, and then suck up the liquefied tissue through a tube formed by hardened skin cells called a stylostome. Ugh, gross. The aftermath arrives in 24 to 48 hours in the form of unsightly red welts that seem to itch unstoppably. This is your body's natural histamine reaction to the invasive saliva. Contrary to popular belief, they do not suck blood, and they do not burrow into your skin to lay eggs. However, chiggers can stay with, explore, and feast on a host for several days before falling off. And because of the delay in bite reaction, that is why welts can show up day after day after day.
You definitely will not be able to see them with the naked eye. But they're here. Trust me, they are here. Now, the worst part about chiggers is that most of the time they try to burrow down into areas that are hard to get at. So like your belt/underwear line, around your ankles. They like tight, compact, warm areas that have soft skin and good blood flow. So right now, there's the chance that they are getting on me. Now, a bite you will not feel, but if I am bitten, the reaction will present itself within 24 to 48 hours. And I can guarantee you that on North Bass Island, there are gazillions of chiggers, probably more than there are stars in the sky, because I've gotten chiggers on this island before. And without a doubt, I have a feeling that right now, with my legs down in the grasses, just like this, I am probably getting them on me at the moment. Well, I'm on my way back from North Bass Island. I kayaked all the way around it. I went into the marsh. We scouted the swamp. I found all sorts of treasures, including a Nike Air Foam Posit. And with any luck, I am now covered in chiggers. I did my best to find the tallest grasses possible, went into them, sat down, and hopefully they are on my body at this point. All right, guys, stay tuned. We'll see you in the aftermath. Okay, well, it has been 48 hours since I returned from North Bass Island. And I've got some good news and some bad news. The good news is that I was successfully eaten alive by chiggers. The bad news is that all the bites are in areas I can't really show you if we want to keep this episode rated PG. Now, I find that the bites become inflamed every time I get out of the shower, and you want to itch and itch and itch and itch them, which is actually the worst thing you can do. If you open up the bites, you can get bacteria inside of them, and ultimately an infection may form. What you want to do is apply Chigger X. This is the original, 2 times strength and with 10% benzocaine. I apply this just before I go to bed, and I manage to sleep 12 hours through the night with no itching. In the morning, I reapply it and go the entire day, no itching. And I want to continue applying it until the chigger bites have completely subsided. Trust me, chiggers are no fun. And while I know you guys can't really see what's going on with me right now, trust me, as soon as this wears off, it becomes very uncomfortable. But if you find yourself this summer in the worst case scenario, whether it's at a backyard picnic or exploring an abandoned island and you manage to get eaten alive by chiggers, Chigger-X is the one thing that is going to help alleviate all of that itching. For more information, make sure to visit their website, and hopefully you don't have to go through the itchy scenario that I am facing right now. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. What I'm gonna do now is let it walk on my hands and my arm. Are you ready for this? Yeah.
You're gonna let that thing walk on you.
This is to prove, oh my gosh, I just saw its fangs. Its fangs are huge.
No matter how brave you may be, I'm willing to bet that there's something you are afraid of. Fears, or phobias as they are known in the medical sciences community, can come in many shapes and sizes. When it comes to the fear of spiders, properly known as arachnophobia, I think it's safe to say that this fear also comes with many legs.
They're looking at...
Look at this. That's a golden silk orb weaver. Look at the size of that spider. And that's a female, for sure. The males are smaller. Whoa, there's more over here. Oh, the whole side of this house is covered in them. Look at this. Wow. Look at this. Oh, look at, they're all running. Ooh, look at this one right here. And not startled. Whoa. Oh. That right there is a big spider. Oh boy. You know, it might be interesting. Why don't we do an episode like we did with the Black Widow, where I free-handle one of these spiders to find out if it bites or not? What do you think?
Oh man, they're definitely very impressive looking. Look at that.
Yeah, a lot bigger than the Black Widow, that's for sure.
I have handled many species of spiders, and whether they are huge and hairy, like the desert tarantula, or sleek and toxic, like the Black Widow, it never fails to send shivers down my spine as they skitter along my arms.
Oh my.
Right onto the edge of my finger. Oh boy, okay, now she's going down my arm. She's actually spun a little thread of web, like she's becoming secured to me. Oh, I thought she was about to bite.
One of my underlying goals has always been to help people face their fear of spiders. So today, I will be handling one of the most common, yet scariest looking arachnids in Central America, the golden orb weaver. But first, I have to catch one.
Wow, that is a massive web. Look at the anchor points down here that then run all the way up into the hot zone. This spider's got a good cache of food already stored up, but given the fact that there are not too many guard strands on the outside here, I think I might be able to actually catch this one. All right, should we go for it?
Let's do it.
Let me see if I can get her to come right down.
You notice it hurt?
Definitely her. Ah, I'm losing it. Got it.
Nice.
There we go. Whoa, that is a big spider right there. And I bet anybody watching right now who has arachnophobia is thinking to themselves, Coyote, you are absolutely crazy. Okay, let's bring it out here from under the overhang. There we go. Staying completely still on the stick. Look at that. Arachnid. Wow. One impressive specimen. Ooh, okay. Going up to the top of the stick. Look at those hooked legs. That will make your skin crawl. Okay, Mark, give me that little plastic cube. Real slowly, before it drops down on me. Got it. I'm gonna see if I can get her to slowly walk in there. Okay, there we go. Whoa. Got it. Wow, that is one intimidating arachnid right there.
All right, let's get this spider into a controlled situation and see just how dangerous it really is.
Warning: spider bites can be incredibly dangerous and potentially fatal. Never attempt to catch or handle a spider.
All right, now I am gonna keep my spider stick with me just in case I need to balance the animal on it at some point. Oh boy. You see it up in its web and you're like, oh, it's not that big, until you get it inside of a clear plastic cube and it's right next to your face. It's a lot bigger up close and personal. All right, I'm going to take off my pack so I have a little more mobility. Now, like Arizona's black widow, this spider is oftentimes found in residential areas, and they build their webs all over man-made structures. So it's a species that you oftentimes stumble upon. However, because they're web builders, they stick to their webs. Now, people do encounter them because if you're out there in the rainforest, they oftentimes will span their webs between two trees. And like in one of those famous adventure movies, if you're walking through the rainforest at night, whack! You may walk straight into a web and find this spider on your person. Now, these spiders are armed with a neurotoxic venom, which will attack the nervous system of their prey. And what these spiders are out here feasting on is any sort of insect that is unfortunate enough to fly into their webs. However, some of these spiders manage to grow large enough where they can actually take lizards, and I've seen pictures on the internet of ones that have eaten small birds and bats. How crazy is that? Now, those are the ones that are in Australia. The ones here in Central and South America don't grow quite as big, and there are actually 23 recognized species worldwide. This is actually a spider people often see in Florida, and they show up in bananas. Did you know that? They're actually also known as the banana spider. They've been transported into the United States through shipments of fruit. Now, unlike the wandering spider, this is not a nomadic hunter. It's waiting for its prey to come to its web. Now, let's say a fly or a beetle gets trapped in that sticky spider silk. What they will do is rush forward and inflict a bite. That initial hit from those fangs sends the prey into shock, and as the neurotoxic venom is beginning to shut down that victim's system, what the spider will do is crawl back and just watch its prey struggle. The more it struggles, the more it becomes entangled in the web. And once it succumbs to the venom, what they'll do is come in and spin a web around the victim and then store it there. Now, based on the variety of orb weaver, they have a different potency of venom. The one that's here in Central and South America, while I don't believe it can kill you, is extremely painful. A bite from the spider will cause your arm to swell up. It'll be really bad. You'll have dry mouth, cramping in your stomach, and it's gonna be a really, really rough afternoon if I end up getting tagged by this creature. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky, guys. Like the black widow, this spider is capable of giving me a pretty painful bite. But to prove to you that this spider is not just out to bite you, what I'm gonna do now is let it walk on my hands and my arm. Are you ready for this? Yeah.
You're gonna let that thing walk on you.
This is to prove, oh my gosh, I just saw its fangs. Its fangs are huge. Okay, maybe I'm having second thoughts about this. Oh boy, here we go. What I want to do is actually use my spider stick and let the spider get onto the stick first so that it feels a little more comfortable. There we go. That's a big spider. You know what I'm going to have to deal with is the webbing, just like I did the black widow. Can you see that? And the tensile strength of this web is so much stronger than that of the black widow, so I hope that I'm not tangled up too bad. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna start by letting it crawl onto this hand. Oh boy, oh boy. Let me spin it for you like that. Wow, it is beautiful, that's for sure. All right, it seems to be pretty calmed down at this point. And what I'm gonna do is put the stick sideways. My mouth is getting dry, I'm getting nervous here. I'm gonna just place my hand out in front of the spider and see if it will walk out onto my fingers. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, the spider is on my arm. Okay, going up my arm.
boy, I'm losing control of it. It's getting back here. Let's see if I can get it onto my hand and around this way. There we go. It's got its legs up in the air. Let me see if I can keep it completely calm there. You can see my hand is shaking a little bit.
Is that a defensive position?
It's a little bit of a defensive position with the legs up in the air like that, and it's right on my knuckle. Don't bite me, don't bite me, don't bite me. Oh, I can feel all the little hooks of its legs.
What are you feeling right now? Feeling those nerves going?
Extremely nervous. I'm trying to just be super still. Let the spider find a place where it feels comfortable, and hopefully it will just, oh, there we go. Oh, look at that. It wanted to go right back onto the stick. Look, you can actually see the webbing hanging right from the tip of my finger. Here, let me see if I can get it back on my hand. There we go. She's really just interested in getting away. Now remember, this spider does have a neurotoxic venom, very similar to that of the black widow. I want to just remain completely calm.
If you were bitten by this spider, to be clear, that's a very bad situation.
It could potentially be really bad depending how much venom went into my body. Okay, oh man, the webbing is so much stronger than that of the black widow. Okay, where did she go?
On your elbow, up your back.
Okay, it's coming this way. I'm gonna slowly turn. See if I can get her back onto my hand.
Yep, there you go. Got it.
There we go. What I don't want to do is make any sudden movement or pull the webbing too tightly, because if she feels threatened, that is when she's going to bite. Now, the way that most spider bites end up happening is somebody applies pressure to the arachnid and they fear for their lives. And a bite is oftentimes just a warning that, hey, I am here, don't squish me. Spiders can control the amount of venom that they inject into what it is they're biting. Because I am not a potential prey item, if she were to bite me, oh boy, right on the tip of my finger there, she's completely tangling me up. If she were to bite me, it could possibly be a dry bite, or I would basically keep my fingers crossed and pray that it was not a full-on bite loaded with venom, because that could be an incredibly bad situation. There we go. She feels real comfortable there. Man, I am getting completely tangled up, and I can feel how strong that spider silk is.
Coyote.
Yeah.
You think you have a good control over the situation here?
I don't think you ever have good control when there is a spider just freely climbing around on your body. Where does she go? Okay. Wow, I'm getting big time tangled up here, guys. Look at that, there's so much webbing. She's able to just free climb right out on top of me there. That gives me the opportunity to get rid of some of that spider silk. Ooh, just a moment to breathe there where she is not actually on my hand.
So tell us why you're doing this, Coyote. You have a reason for this.
There's always a reason for this, and the reason is that you should not just automatically be afraid of these spiders. Actually, these arachnids are doing wonderful things for the environment by eating a lot of pest insects. Now, if you're in Central or South America and you see one of these outside of your house, you don't need to be afraid of it. These spiders stick to their webs and all they're doing is catching nuisance insects. Now, if you go into that web and you try to harass the spider, obviously you may be bitten, but the spider really has no interest in actually biting me as long as I don't apply pressure to its body. I'm getting a little more comfortable now, but you always have to keep your guard up because you see how she's getting all tangled up in her own webbing? I don't want her to feel like she's getting pulled in any one direction and then end up inflicting a bite. This is a species that's only interested in eating insects, not in biting humans.
Now, you would never do this with something like a wandering spider, correct?
No, a wandering spider's venom is so incredibly potent it could put me in the hospital. A bite from a spider like this, there is the chance that a lot of venom could go into my body. However, as a human, I am not prey for this species. So the bite probably wouldn't be so bad that I need to go to the hospital. However, it would swell up, it would turn red, I'd have dry mouth, cramping in my stomach, but after about 24 hours, it would be nothing more than a red, itchy spot. You know, my nerves calm quite a bit once the spider has found a spot that it is comfortable and not walking around. You can see its mandibles and fangs are well up off of my hand right now, but if I were to startle her or apply any pressure to the top of her body, it would force her down, and that's when a bite would be inflicted. Again, I never recommend that you go out in the wild and ever try to free handle a spider on your own. You never know how your body would react to the venom if you were bitten. Well, guys, it looks like the sun is starting to get a little low in the sky, which means it's going to be close to hunting time for this arachnid, because when the sun gets low, that's when all the insects come out. So what I want to do now, ooh, she's going down my arm, is safely get her back up into her web so that she can go out and hunt for the night. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure. All right, back up in the web with you.
Spiders can be found on almost every continent, and while they are all technically venomous, they do their best to save that potent bite for their prey. Unless threatened or provoked, as a human, your odds of being bitten by a spider like the golden orb weaver are slim to none. So if you have the phobia of arachnids running chills down your spine, try to tell yourself that spiders are a good thing. And whether you believe it or not, spiders are actually our friends. Woo, look at that.
Whoa, man, that is a long snake.
Now, this is a nocturnal and an arboreal species, which means that they're out in the trees at night hunting for their prey. Now, they specialize.
Oh, man.
What's going on, Coyote Pack? Right now, we are on the Caribbean side of Costa Rica, and for the past 2 weeks, we've been staying at the Costa Rican Amphibian Research Center Reserve. Just across this bridge right here is the rainforest, and every single night we've been out there looking for animals. Now, the one thing I love to do when I'm on location is to take an entire evening to see how many animals we can get in front of the camera. So we've got Mark there right behind the lens.
What's up, guys?
Got Mario over here.
Hey guys.
There he is.
And of course, the rest of the crew right there behind the scenes. Now, it did rain today, so I must add that it's gonna be pretty muddy.
Yikes.
But if you guys are ready, let's head out there and find some creatures.
What do you say, Mario? Let's do it, right?
Let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Here we go. Off into the rainforest. Good news is I already hear frogs, so we're gonna find something. You really have to take your time when you're searching the rainforest because everything is so incredibly camouflaged. Nothing there. You move slow because you also have to watch out for venomous snakes everywhere that you step. Oh, here we go. There's our first animal. All right, Mark.
What do you got?
I'm gonna lower my flashlight. Just kind of frame your shot in this general area and tell me if you can see what I just saw. See if the audience can recognize it.
I can't see any eye shine if I don't. Oh, I see it.
Yep.
There it is.
You know what that is?
That is a walking stick, right?
You're absolutely right. Let me just grab onto it here. Whoa, come here, buddy. Awesome. These are usually pretty difficult to see because look at it. Looks just like a stick or a piece of straw.
That is awesome. Do those things bite?
They do not, which is good news for me. And watch this, I'm gonna let it walk on my face. It's one of the few creatures that I'm completely comfortable letting do this.
Ah, am I poking your eye?
Now, the reason that I did that is to show you guys just how good they can climb. And look at that, they're actually capable of hanging upside down. They have these little hooks on the bottoms of their feet, which allow them to be completely mobile no matter where they are climbing. Okay, I'm gonna try to bring him back down, put him on the tree. Oh, come here, buddy. Let's try to find something a little more dangerous than the walking stick. Very cool first animal, though. Definitely watch where you're walking, Mark.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep an eye out.
Ants. It's crazy. In the 2 weeks we've been here, we have seen so many snakes. It's like you just step and you're like, whoa, there's a snake curled up right there.
Now, would a feral ants be below the water, or do they stay on the surface?
Nope, they would be standing right up on top, but they would be curled up in a ball and almost impossible to see. Come on.
Got it. Where is he?
Right there, coming to the surface.
Yep.
Got it.
Yes!
Woo!
Nice snag.
The one-handed grab. My favorite way to catch mud turtles. All right, let's trek it back this way and get up onto the embankment. Okay, come on.
Cool.
Yes! Ooh, look at you, snapping at me. That is a white-lipped mud turtle, and they can be pretty aggressive. Let's see what that bite is like. Ooh, I don't know, should I do it?
I don't know, what do you think? Is it gonna hurt?
I think it's probably gonna hurt. Let's see. Yeah, that hurts. Look at that, ooh, just like the neck of a snapping turtle. Look at that, oh, it didn't break skin. Thank you, I appreciate that. The eyes almost look like the eyes of a snapping turtle, and then they have that masked structure right on the sides of the cheeks,
and that very distinct white nose and beak. Well, cool. Second animal of the night, and you guys know I can never resist catching turtles. Ready to put them back?
Let's do it.
Okay. There's a monstrous tarantula that lives right in the crux of that tree. I think I can kind of put this in front of the tarantula and get it to pop up out of the hole and then maybe grab a hold of it.
All right, man. Good luck.
Wow, it's so quick. There's just no good way.
All right, let's go, guys.
Whoa, right here. Look at this guy. Oh, yeah. It's huge. Whoa.
What is that?
Big tarantula. That is a huge tarantula. Okay, well, we go after one tarantula. It's actually smaller than this. This looks like it's a male. Boy, I'm tempted to try to pick it up, but I'm not 100% sure what species this is. Now, I know my spiders that are in Arizona, but the ones here in the rainforest of Costa Rica, it's like, I just don't know if it's worth risk trying to handle it. It is very, very flighty. I'm gonna try to just pin it. Ready?
This is risky.
Oh! Oh, look out, Mark! It's on your leg.
Mark, it's on you.
Don't move.
Oh,
It's
jeez.
on you, man.
Don't move. Okay, I'm gonna try that again. It's very strong.
Okay, you got him.
There we go. Okay. Boy. Oh, okay. Now we got it under control. That's a big spider. Now, I am gonna go ahead and set it down on my hand. Oop, nope, just jumped right off of me. Okay, has no interest in just hanging out, but there it is, back on the floor of the forest. Well, if there's anything that could possibly give you a nightmare out here in this rainforest, it's definitely a giant fuzzy tarantula. All right, let's keep moving and see what else we can find. A lot of vine tangles. Ooh, no, this looks like something. Oh, here we go, look at this.
Oh, you got a snake.
Yeah, that is a blunt-headed snake. Look at that, just all curled up in the vines.
Oh, look at its eyes. Is that venomous?
Mildly venomous, but rear-fanged, and they are not prone to biting. So, keep my fingers crossed on this one. Wait till you see how long and slender this snake is. They oftentimes do musk as a secondary defense. Woo! Look at that!
Whoa, man, that is a
crouched down
long
here.
snake.
Wow! Look at that snake! Oh no, it is! It's musking all over me! Oh no! I knew it was gonna happen. I was trying to be as gentle as possible. The most interesting aspect, look at those eyes. Enormous eyes. Its head is mostly eyeballs. Now, this is a nocturnal and an arboreal species, which means that they're out in the trees at night hunting for their prey. Now, they special.
Oh,
Oh,
jeez.
man.
Dude.
You rolling?
Yeah, I'm rolling.
Well, there is nothing more dangerous than that moment right there. Now, there is no question about it. I just had my butt inches away from that fer-de-lance.
Whoa.
Why don't you hold on to that for us? Mario, wildlife biologist, can wrangle that. I am going to gently move this fer-de-lance out of the way, okay?
Sure.
Look at that. The snake doesn't want to strike unless it is threatened, so it felt as long as I stayed there and I was perfectly camouflaged, maybe nobody would notice me and we'd just keep our focus on that blunt-headed snake. Thank you, little fer-de-lance, for not tagging me, because even a fer-de-lance of this size would send me to the hospital. Okay, I'm gonna place him over here in the leaves.
Okay.
Set him down, let him take off. Ready? There you go. Every once in a while, you just say thank you to the universe for letting you escape completely unscathed when you get that close to a very dangerous snake. Wow. Okay, back to the blunt-headed snake. Woo! That was a close one. All right, Mario, let's bring that snake back in and continue this intense snake segment. Now, I was saying, look at those eyes. They are so enormous. This snake's head is all eyeballs. That's because they're out here hunting at night. This gives them good vision. Now what they focus on is small lizards. So let's say it's an anole or a gecko. This snake will sneak up on it. You can see how it can stay completely still. Look at that, looks just like a vine. So if a little gecko is wandering around on a leaf, right there, and then the snake strikes out and is able to consume it. Very, very cool. Well, we've got a snake that is relatively safe and then a snake that was incredibly dangerous right next to me. Pretty good opportunity to give you guys a good look at some of the reptiles that are here in the rainforest. All right, let's put this one back into the tree and watch our step where we're going. We'll see you later. It's definitely looking here. It's a good spot for insects and arachnids.
Here, let me get across here.
Oh, there's a scorpion right there. Look at that.
Oh, geez.
Whoa, wow.
That's a good size one for
Pretty decent
rainforest.
size, yeah. Here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pin it with my flashlight. You got a shot on it? Be as gentle as possible. This isn't gonna hurt the scorpion in any way. It's probably gonna get pretty angry though.
Okay, I'm ready.
Here we go.
Nice
Got it. Woo! I do believe this is the blue mountain scorpion, a rather rare species that is pretty newly discovered. I wonder what would happen if I let go of its tail. You think it would sting me?
No, I doubt it.
Okay. There you go. You can see the stinger is completely curled up underneath the tail. Wow.
Get your heart racing a little bit when you let the stinger go like that?
A little bit. It's been an on-edge sort of night after that fer-de-lance encounter, and now to free handle a scorpion. But always cool to come across any sort of creepy crawly out here. All right, let's let him back up onto these boards and see what else we can come across. You ready?
Yep.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Nope, 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 nope. Let's do this. Oh no. Do not want to agitate the scorpion. Woo! Scorpion safe down into that crevice. Tell you what, free handling one of those arachnids definitely gets your heart rate going. Okay, let's keep them going, guys. Guys, let's move up this way.
Okay. Whoa, whoa.
What you got?
We got a venomous snake,
Oh.
Coyote.
What?
Yep,
Where?
right here. Watch your steps.
Just walked right past
Is that a
there.
bushmaster?
It's really camouflaged.
Ooh, is it another fer-de-lance?
No, it's actually a jumping pit viper.
Cool.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that pattern.
How did I miss that? I literally just walked right over the top of this log and I looked down where I was stepping, but I did not look to the side. All right, let's get it off the log. This is definitely one worth getting up close for the cameras. They call them jumping pit vipers because they will lunge out. Gently pick it up with the snake up here. They tend to stay pretty docile. There we go. Whew, look at that robust body. Okay, back it up slowly here. All right, I got the snake under control here. I'm gonna move down real slowly. Now, like a water moccasin, they will oftentimes just curl up into a ball and display their white mouths. Let's see, look at that. Totally calm. Very unlike the fer-de-lance, which is a very skittish, snappy snake. I'm gonna get a little lower there. Still out of the strike zone, but I wanna be very careful. And I'm looking this snake right in the eye, and I can tell it's a pit viper, not only from the shape of its head, but look at the distinct pits right behind the nostrils. Let's see if I can point that out. Look right there. That's how they sense heat in not only their prey, but also potential predators. So right now this snake is thinking, ooh, got these big bright lights, got all these human bodies, way too big to consume, so I better just keep myself calm and collected. All right, Mark, I'm gonna hold it up just a little bit so you can get a better look at it. Now, the bite from this snake is very powerful. They're actually referred to as the pit bull of the pit viper family. And when they bite, they hold on, scrunch up their face to protect their eyes, and they do not let go. So getting tagged by this snake would be really, really bad for me. Pretty cool though, getting up close with the jumping pit viper. All right, back into the forest with this one. Come on, little buddy, back up on your log.
Now, this is so cool. I just wanted to stop for a moment and show this to you guys. Look at this. There is water just flowing through the forest right now. We have had so much rain over the past couple days. The forest is alive with frog sounds and snakes moving about hunting. But here, I'm gonna kind of turn like this. Look up that pathway. This is just water flowing through the forest.
And this is not a stream.
No, this is not a stream. This is just a path through the middle of the forest that has water flowing through it, which is great for us to be able to find animals. So the environment is rich, and hopefully we're gonna come across some more great things. Let's keep going. There's a glass frog right there on that leaf.
Is that what's making that peep?
Yep. Now, I don't know if that one's making that exact peep, but that's a glass frog. Okay, they're pretty quick. Got him.
Okay, cool.
Yes, okay. Double check for snakes. Think we're good. There he is. Look at that little guy.
Whoa, look at his eyes.
You know who it looks like? Kermit the Frog. And actually, Kermit was designed off of this exact frog species. Now, they call them glass frogs because their bodies are semi-translucent, especially on the body. Actually, some species, I can't tell with this one. Let me hold them up here for you.
No, that one has a white bottom.
Has a white bottom? Okay, some of them have bellies that are completely clear and you can actually see the organs moving inside. That is one adorable frog. Now, up against the light like that, its body is semi-translucent. I can actually see some of the organs and veins in there pumping, working away, keeping this frog alive.
All right, let's let him go.
All right, let's do this. I'm gonna try to just let him hop right back up onto this leaf. Light. Got it.
Oh, that's a coral snake.
That is a coral snake.
That's a very dangerous snake.
Yeah, that is a very dangerous snake. Is it a coral? Yeah. That is 100% a coral snake. Do not want to be bitten by this snake. Now, this does not have hinged fangs like a pit viper. They have small, fixed fangs, but they are extremely venomous.
That's the biggest coral snake I've
Why don't
ever
I
seen.
pin it? Why don't I pin its head and get it under control?
You sure you want to head that? Oh my goodness.
The best way for us to present this snake, because it was moving so much, was for me to actually just head it and get it under control. That is an enormous coral snake, is it not?
Yeah.
Biggest one you've ever seen?
Yep.
They are incredibly fast, incredibly strong, and the venom is incredibly potent. Being bitten by the snake would be just as bad as being bitten by a fer-de-lance. I can't believe how many snakes are out here and on the move tonight. Unbelievable. Now, it is musking a little bit. It was very scared when we came up on it and moved very quickly and is able to just gently grab a hold of it with the snake tongs. And I have a good fixed hold on the head, gentle yet controlled, as you can see there. And it is just, wow, look at the iridescence to the scales. Can your camera pick that up?
Yeah, it is a beautiful snake. That is really impressive.
Now, the bright coloration of this snake goes in line with the aposematic term that I often use with the poison frogs. Anything that has bright coloration is a warning that I am toxic. And in this case, it's a venomous snake, not a poisonous frog. And again, a bite from this snake would send me to the hospital. Now, most of the snakes that we have come across so far here in Costa Rica are pit vipers, but this one is an elapid. They are actually related to cobras with a very, very potent venom. Well, it certainly has been the night of serpents between my close call at the fer-de-lance and then, of course, that jumping pit viper. And now, the coral snake? I'll just be happy when we get this one back off into the rainforest. I'm Coyote Peterson. Be brave. Stay wild. We'll see you on the next adventure.
If you love animals, make sure to search for the Brave Wilderness channel on YouTube so you can join me and the crew on our next big adventure.